All right. Welcome in, everyone, to Jersey Chasers, episode 6. I am your host, everyone's favorite season, Autumn, the knower of ball, joined by my co host, Christy a Cutie.
I look a little different today, don't I?
Yes, you do. It got to be a little bit more slurred. The accent, it's got to be a little bit more like slurred.
Hey, I gotta talk like I'm drunk, don't I?
Yeah. Because she talks like this and she enunciates all her words.
I have my son's Brooks Marks outfit on today. It's a little humid out here in Utah, so my hair's out of control.
Do you have a new rental?
Yes, with amazing views
Mm-hmm.
for Seth.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about Christy's outfit choice later on in the show
My
because
Halloween costume.
I genuinely her outfit is like spot on for who she's supposed to be. We're supposed to have a special Halloween episode, but guys, I really couldn't find anything spooky in sports. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not a lot of crazy spooky stuff. I mean, there's the haunted hotel in Oklahoma City.
Ooh, okay. Tell us about that, and then I'll tell you something that I think is spooky.
So there's this hotel in Oklahoma City, and I know one of the things that's spooky about the hotel is that apparently a worker got trapped in one of the rooms with her baby. So
Oh.
she was in this room with her baby, and then apparently she jumped to her death. And then after she jumped to her death, like a lot of people who go to the hotel can hear like a door slamming or a baby crying or can see a woman. I know that the NBA would have players stay there for some reason. I know former Cavs point guard Kyrie Irving. He talked about how he once woke up with bug bites
Oh,
because they had the forbidden bugs there. But it's like a bunch of supernatural occurrences have happened there, and I think there's a Pablo Torre finds out episode on it to see if it's really haunted. Like they go. I haven't seen it in a long time, but that was about the most haunted thing I could find in sports. Honestly, like that was the scariest thing.
I have something worse for you.
What's the scariest thing?
Okay, so this is not so much a ghost, but some type of evil, like spirit or curse that has landed on top of this particular team for quite some time now, for longer than you, Autumn, have been alive, and even longer than I have been alive. The Cleveland Browns, they are
Yeah, I knew
cursed.
you were going there. I knew it. I knew it.
So, when you think about it, all the downtown area is pretty much cursed.
Yep.
The Cavs are the only team that have won a championship in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, that almost didn't happen.
And a lot of people think it came down to the fact that Art Modell took the Browns in the middle of the night off to Baltimore.
Hmm.
Now, could that be it? And he disrupted the ghost of Jim Brown, or not Jim Brown, sorry. He pooped on Jim Brown. But going back to the original owner, did that do something to cause the curse to happen? It's affected the Indians to be
Yeah,
claimed.
that's more of the curse of Rocky Calavito. I fully believe in that one.
Well, I think the whole downtown area is cursed. And so I do believe that once we move out to the burbs,
Out to the Brook Park.
Alsabrook Park, well, I actually believe something's going to happen before then. I've got this weird, like, I get feelings. I get weird senses. And I do believe that, yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have to stick this season out. But after this season, I do believe that behind the scenes, we're working on our offensive line to get some healthy guys in there and some backups so that in case they do become not healthy, they've got backups. But I really think next season, we are going to use Shador. He will be our franchise quarterback. And I just had this feeling, and I don't get feelings very often about the Browns. If I do, they're not real good. So I'm just gonna go with that for now.
So, ironically enough, yeah, let's talk about it. We haven't talked about it here on the show, but the Browns are officially moving to Brook Park. So, if you're not from Cleveland, Brook Park is directly outside of Cleveland. So, it'll be like it's downtown, and then it's like the west side, and then it's Brook Park. And Brook Park is like it's not Cleveland, but it's Cleveland. It's kind of in the middle of all these other suburbs, and there's a
Cleveland's
lot of
it's a big area,
yeah.
south of the lake.
Yeah, so it's not really it's so where it's supposed to be at is like near the airport but not far. It's like it's a weird area. So the Browns were approved to move to Brook Park in 2029, but they may stay a little bit longer. They garnered a deal with the city of Cleveland for about $100 million to put back in the city of Cleveland, which is chump change. So they are going to demolish what we know as Huntington Bank Field, First Energy Stadium, Cleveland Browns Stadium,
The mistake on
Cleveland
both stadiums.
Stadium. Like when I say every name you could think of, that stadium has been. They're going to demolish it, and eventually they're going to make a bunch of waterfront areas, and it's already been like significantly developed for a while. So I don't know. As someone that has gone to a Browns game in the last year there, I'm kind of glad they're moving to Berea because it is
Brook Park.
Brook Park. I'm sorry, Berea is where they
Brea's
practice.
training camp.
Berea is where they practice. I'm kind of glad they're, but it's not that far. Ironically enough, it's closer to their training facility. But the parking situation downtown is a nightmare. You have to pay at least $70 to park for a Browns game. That's ridiculous. So I'm a little excited. I'm a little excited that we're finally gonna get a dome stadium in Cleveland. I don't understand why we have never had one, but we're finally gonna get one. We're probably gonna get more shows, more concerts, more things. I'm excited for that part. But that actually does lead the Browns to this week. So Browns lose to the Patriots.
Womp womp.
They're now going into the bye, and it was announced this week that the Browns will be sticking out the rest of the season with Dillon Gabriel. So how do you feel about it?
Well, of course they're going to stick with him. I mean, he was their first quarterback that they took from the draft. So I didn't think that they were going to change their minds on this. I didn't think that they were going to throw in Shador or Bailey Zappi.
Bailey Zappi.
Yeah, Bailey Zappi. But I also don't think that Deshaun Watson is going to get a chance. And I know a lot of people are saying, okay, well, if you have, take Shador out of the equation. If you have Deshaun and you have Dillon, who do you want to play? I personally want Dillon to play.
Honestly, Deshaun Watson shouldn't be a factor.
He shouldn't. He should be gone. Like, I'm so sick of that man still being here in the background. Like, shouldn't even be part of the conversation. Half the time I forget about him. But, I'm trying to be like not a Browns fan right now and think of it from just an NFL standpoint. I say you stick with Dillon Gabriel. And he's been getting the most reps with the first team anyway. Coach has said that. So, why give up on him? And as upset as Miles was, he knows what the plan is.
Yeah. He doesn't resign if he doesn't know what the plan is.
Right. So he may not be happy at the fact that we are not winning right now while the plan is being put together still for next season. But he knows what the plan is. That's why he decided to stay. That's why he took that huge signing, bonus and the extension. He didn't just do it because they lied to him. You think he's going to stick around if they lied to him? You think he's going to keep his mouth shut if they lie to him?
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing out there saying that he can't sit there and throw everybody under the bus. Because you know what? Everybody in the whole NFL, I don't care who it is, they would love to know exactly what is going on there in Cleveland. And if one person knows, it's Miles. And if he were to blow everybody out of the water, nobody's going to bat an eye about it because they'd understand why he finally did. But he knows, and it's a process, and we're just going to have to wait.
Yeah, I honestly I don't understand why people are so mad that the Browns are deciding to stick with Dylan Gabriel. Yes, we kind of knew once Joe Flacco. I'm not saying Joe Flacco couldn't throw because we saw his game in Cincinnati, which we'll get to the Bengals. But once it was kind of written on the wall that Joe Flacco was no longer going to be the starting quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, it was clear that he was going to be the quarterback going forward. You don't get rid of Kenny Pickett for no reason.
Right?
You don't keep Shador with the practice team reps. So it was very clear. I think it's also clear that they're not bringing back Deshaun Watson. He has been in no plans. We've heard nothing about him. The only thing we've heard about him is that he's completely healed from his Achilles, but I haven't heard anything about him taking reps with people. I haven't heard him talking to the media. I haven't done any like when I say there's been no register of like, oh, he may be coming back. It's just reports.
I haven't heard none.
And then with the Miles being frustrated, of course you're frustrated. You're a competitive person. You're on a team where your defense is pretty good, but the offense is not as good, and you going out every Sunday and some and
Breaking
it's
records.
just yeah, it's frustrating. And I think what's so different about Miles and his time here so far is yes, he has had some bad seasons. He's had some losing seasons, but he's actually had some winning seasons. There's not like I think about players like Josh Cribbs and Joe Hayden and Joe Thomas and players who were here for a really, really long time and never got to see a winning season, let alone go to a playoff game. And I just think about Miles's career and I'm like, he's won a playoff game. He's been to the playoffs a couple times. They've had winning seasons here. So I think going forward, he knows the plan. He doesn't resign here for nothing.
Right?
Like they're not gonna resign him just because. And I know people are like, "Well, he just wanted the money. He just wanted the money." Yeah, he
No,
wanted the money, but money
not
is money.
anything. Yeah.
Money is money.
He set up roots in Cleveland.
Yeah,
Like he's not just, uh, coming through. Like
he
he's
literally is a minority owner of the Cavs. Like
yeah,
he's here to stay.
yeah,
So I think anybody that's like, "Oh, Miles is so frustrated with what's going on." I'm like, "Yeah, anybody would be frustrated." But he's not leaving and
right.
they're definitely not trading him because he's Miles is about to be 30. And as great as he is, he's about to be 30. And
Yep.
that's ancient in football years.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it too, but anyway, let's go ahead and let's start talking about how we watched Joe Flacco with the Bengals. You know, doing pretty good out there. You think he'll go to the Steelers next?
Honestly, he might. So if you don't understand what Christy's saying, the Bengals give the Jets their first win. How about that?
I mean, they were doing really good. But you know what? I chalk this up to because first of all, Joe beat Aaron in the Old Man Bowl,
Mhm.
the
Yep.
Bengay Bowl. Um, and then he was doing a great job against the Jets, and then all of a sudden, the spirit of Nick Mangold.
Just came out.
Fourth quarter, Jets win. Yeah. So, I mean, like, being a Buckeye fan, being a Browns fan, I loved every second of it. And I was
Mhm.
excited for the Jets because of the fact that they did get their first win. Justin Field was talking about the week before crying in his closet, and y
Yeah.
you hate to hear that a football player is going through, like, something like that mentally because he has just beaten himself up so badly, and it's not just him on the team, I'm sure other guys were beating themselves up too, but being a Buckeye fan, of course, my heart goes out to him that much more. And so hopefully this win was a confidence booster. I'm glad that they got their first win before we play them.
Honestly, well, yeah, so if you guys don't know, former Jets, was he a defensive tackle? No,
No,
offensive lineman.
he
No,
was a
sorry,
center.
excuse me. He was center. I apologize.
That's okay.
Forgot. Nick Mangold, former Ohio State center, passed away this past Sunday from kidney disease.
Yeah.
He had been sick for quite some time. Justin Fields, of course, the week prior talked about his mental health, and I feel so bad for him because he really has had a terrible shake of the NFL. He gets to Chicago. He was really good in Chicago, and they wasted him.
Yeah, they did.
They
No
wasted him,
offensive line.
and then they trade him to the Steelers because they're gonna get Caleb Williams because they think Caleb Williams is the second coming, and you've seen how that gone.
He's a joke. Anyway.
And then the Steelers don't know what to really do with him. They kinda go back and forth with him and Russell Wilson all last season, even though he was really, really good last season. He
Yeah.
was great last
Yeah,
season.
they pulled him because Russ was hurt in the beginning of the season, and
Yeah.
he won, like, 4 games, lost 1 or something, and then they pulled him and put Russ in, and it's like, "Why are you gonna pull your quarterback when he's doing a great job but whatever, they're freaking stupid, so go ahead."
And then this past offseason, he signs with Jets, and I think he signs with the Jets because the last few years, the Jets have kind of been a team that's on the verge. We know with the Aaron Rodgers of it all, a lot of people thought Aaron Rodgers was the problem with the team. Well, we now know it's not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron
Well, I thought it
Rodgers
was
was
coach too.
Yeah, it was Aaron Rodgers, the coach. It was just a little bit of everything, and I just kind of feel bad for him. His owner talked about, you know, him, but I did see something, I forgot which interview it was, but a commentator talked about Woody Johnson and how Woody keeps blaming everybody but himself.
Hmm,
He blamed Justin Fields. He blamed Robert Saleh. He's blamed any and every coach quarterback combination he's
trainer.
had. And it's like you guys have one of like the longest playoff droughts, like win droughts.
Worse than
And you've had good teams. You've had great teams. In fact, you went to the AFC Championship game 2 years in a row. And it's
Mhm.
just one of those things where it's like I know the Jets could be so much better if that family did not own that team.
You could say the same about the Browns.
Well, the Browns has been on well, honestly, the Haslams
Uh-huh.
compared to other owners, like the Lerners, are not as bad. I will say this, the Haslams are not afraid to do stuff. The Lerners were afraid to go after it. The
Yeah.
Haslams aren't afraid. I genuinely don't like defending rich people, but I'm just gonna say this, that the Johnson family has owned
I
the
don't know what
Jets
you're
for
talking.
way longer, and they've just been bad for years.
Sorry, I'm rich, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we'll get to her. We'll get to her. But, the NFL trade deadline is actually coming up. We've actually had 2 trades so far. The Patriots, who win, trade Keon White and Kyle Duggar. They traded Keon White to the 49ers. They traded Duggar to the Steelers. Like, it's about to be time, and a lot of people are like, "Well, who's gonna be on the move?" Guys,
Right.
not a lot of people. Not a lot of people are gonna be on the move.
No.
It's the NFL.
Oh,
It's
that's
not like
awesome.
Nah, it's not like the NBA trade deadline or MLB. It's not like big, big splashy moves. Like
You don't
you're
think we'll
not
have
gonna
a
get
fire sale? Get rid of everybody.
I mean, they kind of already started.
Yeah,
They got rid of Greg Newsom.
yeah. It's
They
like a
got
slow
rid
trickle.
Yeah, it's like a slow trickle, so I don't expect certain people to be here, but I it's the Browns.
Mm.
But let's move on from the
Yes,
Browns.
yes.
Um, let's move into the NBA.
Alright.
Cavs 3-1 to start
Yay.
the season. Only loss comes in the opening game to New York, but they only lost by like 8 points. So, like, we don't really dwell on that. On
I'd
to
rather
the
be losing
next.
early in the season anyway.
Exactly. There is some news though. Sam Merrill, he tweaked his hip against the Pistons yesterday, so he is out versus the Celtics. And then Darius Garland is making his way back. He got assigned to the Cleveland Charge. So we are making our way back, but we got to
No.
talk about the NBA's biggest story, and that is the
The
gambling
scandal.
scandal heard around the world.
Oh my
So
gosh.
late last week, I'm scrolling on Twitter, and I see NBA player and coach arrested. And the coach arrested, I was surprised. The player, not so much. So the NBA coach that
You were
was the
shocked about
current
Chauncey?
Chauncey
You
Billups.
were shocked about that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I don't know.
I don't
I
really pay
always looked
attention
at him
to
like
him.
he was kinda shady when he played for Detroit, but, like, for some reason, I thought a lot of players for the Pistons were kinda shady.
I mean, it's the Pistons.
But,
It's
like,
the Pistons.
I remember, like, back in the '80s Pistons.
Mhm.
So, like, that generation was a little bit different than the newer generation of Pistons players, but yeah, with Chauncey, I was like, I totally see him as, like, whipping boy.
So he gets caught for rigging poker games. So I get there's like two different entities. So the rigging poker games is what they connected to the Italian mafia, the Cosa Nostra. That is what he's involved in. Then you have the NBA player, which nobody is surprised that he was chosen, Terry Rozier. Oh my God, there's a game that the Cavs played against Miami last year where it was so clear that he was missing stuff on purpose.
Like, did these guys not watch the series Bad Sport on Netflix?
No, clearly
Because
not.
the very first episode is like this all over again. Or to like they copied this from that. So if you guys haven't seen that, go watch just the first episode even because it's Arizona State University basketball players
Mhm.
and they're rigging games and it's like rinse and repeat, but with the NBA now.
Yeah, so he gets arrested, but his connection is from a game against the Pelicans 2 years ago. And in the game against the Pelicans 2 years ago, he used his childhood friend who ironically is from Cleveland cuz everybody got to be from
Oh
Cleveland.
yeah, somebody's gonna be from Cleveland.
So he has his childhood best friend put in unders on him. So he put in minutes, points, everything unders, and then he had a bet that he would go out in the game early. And then people found the footage of the game mentioned. He claimed that he had a foot injury in the game, and everybody sees him in the game, and he's not fine. He's normal. He
Right.
actually goes out in the game just 10 minutes into the game. So I think it was the amount of money that people won was like $200,000. It
Right.
was a crazy amount. So you have him being the NBA side, Chauncey being the, the mob side, and here comes the convergence of one former NBA coach and MGA player, former Cavs player, Damon Jones, a man who once got soup thrown on him because he would not stop messing with a player.
Uh,
So Damon Jones gets caught up in the poker games. And then he allegedly was selling information on a player that people have deduced to be LeBron on if they were going to be in the lineup or they were going to sit out.
yeah, trying to drag LeBron into it.
And it was just like every time I just saw something new, and then it was like the Jonte Porter of it all. They brought him into it because they knew he was a gambler and had gambling debts.
So
So
did
he
you
gets
hear about the card tables though?
Oh, I saw the videos. I saw the videos of the X-ray glasses and
That's crazy.
the reflective cards and like just nuts.
I know. It's funny. I find it hilarious.
But it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets so much
Do
worse.
do go on.
The NBA at one point cleared Terry Rozier of any wrongdoing when it came to gambling.
Oops.
So apparently they did their own independent investigation. They
Maybe
didn't
they did a
find
great job.
any wrongdoing, and it's like, what did you find? It was
How
clear to
how
the
much did you
eye.
pay for that investigator? You need to get a refund.
I'm like, did you not watch the game? I'm like, I watched that game against Cleveland where he was in like I'm like, it was so bad to where I was like, he has to be missing. He was missing open layups, he was missing open threes, he was purposely kicking the ball. Like it was just stuff that I'm like, you learn this in basketball 101.
Right, can't you fake that better?
No, they all can't fake it back better. So a
I
lot
know.
of people think that going into whatever this is also going to have implications on Malik Beasley because he also got allegations of hold on, I had to burp.
Oh, bless
um,
you. Bless
um,
you.
he had allegations of possibly gambling. People found games where he was like magically at the end of games just wanted to have a spurt of like scoring points. It's crazy right now. So a lot of people think though that it's going to have some effect because the NBA is also going through another situation with Kawhi Leonard and him getting funds from a fake tree planting company to circumvent the salary cap. So a lot of people think, well, they messed up this whole gambling thing.
Right.
So they're definitely going to overcorrect on that. So
Yeah, yeah.
what do you think of all of this?
Well, it's sad because let me give you an example. Because I'm not a huge basketball fan. I do like to take on the occasional game. I'd rather be at the game than watching it on TV. But it's kind of like when I was watching the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight.
Mhm.
I'm a huge boxing fan. Growing up in Northeast Ohio, I think boxing is like the second favorite sport next to
Yes, it is.
football.
Yes, it is.
Ray
And
Boom
wrestling.
Boom, yeah, wrestling. But so growing up watching boxing, I was super excited about this fight. I really wanted to see Jake Paul get the crap beat out of him. I was hoping Mike Tyson was going to lay him out. And then, of course, it ended up being a farce. And that upset me as a boxing fan because now I don't know which boxing matches I can trust. And as the promoter, Jake Paul was, you would think that he would want to keep things as authentic as possible to keep real boxing fans. And I've talked about other boxing fans, with them about this because how can you trust that the next boxing match that you go watch is going to be real?
Mhm.
Now, basketball fans are going to be asking themselves the same question. How do we know that the money we're spending on this basketball game that we're going to tomorrow evening is going to be real?
Mhm.
Yeah, you're going to go, you're going to have a great time. Hopefully, you're going to drink some beers and eat some food and have a good time with whoever you go with. But ultimately, the outcome of the game, are you going to believe it or not?
Yeah.
I would have a hard time believing the basketball games now because, like I said, fool me once, shame on me.
Fool me twice. Yeah.
Yep.
It wasn't funny, but it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I said Terry Rozier was already funny. Chauncey Billups, a little surprising. The Damon Jones, oh, beautiful. I was like, of course he's involved.
Right.
Like, if anyone knows anything about Damon Jones, he, of course, like, there is no one, I swear, in the NBA, you can look at them and you're like, yeah, he's definitely betting on games. Like, 100%. Like, he's selling information. Nothing surprised me on that.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm curious to see what the NBA is going to do. I have no faith in them. But speaking of basketball,
Yes.
we got some more news. The
Yes, we do.
WNBA and the WNBA Players Association have not come to an agreement on a CBA. People do not think that is going to happen anytime soon. And they're going to be at a standstill. A lot of players associations have come out in support of the WNBA Players Association, and it's not going to be surprising. Kathy's going to get fired. Her comments alone.
Yep.
So, and then they have 2 teams coming into the league next year. So
Right.
they're going to try to make sure they
Clean up
get
those
an
messes
agreement.
before
Yeah, clean up the
teams
mess.
new teams come.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, also, speaking of women's sports,
Yes.
you have some more news. I'm gonna go through this really quickly, but not rapid fire. I can't do that again. I blacked out last time.
I need oxygen.
So it was crazy. So I'm gonna just go through real quick, and then we're gonna talk about college football, and then we're gonna talk about why you're dressed like this. So the WPBL, the Women's Professional Baseball League, revealed the first 4 teams of their inaugural season for next year. It's going to be LA, San Francisco, New York, and Boston as the first 4 teams. They are planning a draft next month. And they have been trying to get this league off the ground. So the WPBL is the Women's Professional Baseball League, like I said. They have players who have played baseball previously. Monet Davis, who actually played college basketball, is come back to put her hat in the ring. We've had a couple other women who played baseball. I'm excited. The people that they have involved with this are actually like real big. Yeah.
Okay, so Monet Davis, correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't she a huge character of the story of the Little League World Series just a few years ago? Because she was the girl pitcher on the boys team, right?
Yep. So remember. The tryouts were this past summer in DC. Mm-hmm. So they had it at Nationals Park, and so I looked up the all the things that they're trying to implement. So the season is going to be about 7 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
So it's not going to be long. It's going to be summer. It's from May to August. They're going to have like the first 2 weeks All-Star game, last 2 weeks playoffs. Games are going to go 7 innings. Like, it's going to be a full shebang. They're looking for league partners and everything. And it's actually being, like I said, it's being run by people who are passionate about the game of baseball and are passionate about women's sports. So we're going to move on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make it seem like I'm dismissing it. I promise not.
No,
the World Series is tied at 2 games apiece. It's been an interesting World Series, to say the least. The Dodgers are without one of their pitchers who is going through a family emergency. But we had the longest game of the World Series era, with the game lasting 18 innings.
I love it. When did they stop serving beer, though?
They definitely stopped in like the 7th inning, maybe the 8th.
Sucks for the people that are there. I mean, if you're going to be there for that many, I mean, double the innings. I mean, come on.
Ooh. Literally, they played a whole nother baseball game.
Yep.
So, the Dodgers end up winning that one, and then the Toronto Blue Jays won the one last night. So, the series is tied. So, it's at least going to go to 6. I believe it's going to go to 7. I have no clue who's going to win, but we're going to get to college football.
Yes, ma'am.
Brian Kelly has been fired from Louisiana State University. He becomes the 3rd major head coach to get fired after Billy Napier and James Franklin. Billy Napier at Florida, James Franklin at Penn State. They weren't hated as much as Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly, I've not heard a single positive word since this has happened. So, Christy, what was your reaction?
Yeah, I have also, along with Brian Kelly, I do want to say that there was a coach from Oklahoma State that was let go. I can't remember his name.
Mike Gundy?
Yeah, Gundy. Yes.
Wow. Finally.
Yeah, right? I
Finally.
mean, but it's so weird seeing, like, locker room clips and the sidelines without him there anymore, even though it's only been, like, 2 or 3 weeks. But, this one, it didn't surprise me. I'm kinda glad. I think, LSU needed this. I think that they need it as, like, a breath of fresh air.
Mhm.
So, I didn't hear who the interim head coach is right now, but, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be looking, for their permanent one after the season. Well, probably during the season too, but not until next season will that person start. So I'm kind of interested in who they'll be looking at. Did you know on this day 8 years ago we fired Hugh?
That was the greatest day in Browns history. Hugh Jackson was one of the worst coaches I've ever
Speaking
seen
of
coach.
yeah, speaking of coaches getting fired, but anyway, go back to college.
So yeah, I've seen all the Brian Kelly stories. The thing about it is they're not even like, oh, they're like, you know how some like stories about coaches are like, oh, he was just a little quirky, he was a little off. He was committing crimes.
Yeah.
He had there was the one about him being a coach at Central Michigan, and Matt LaFleur and Robert Saleh were his assistants, and he made them shovel his driveway and park cars, and they
Well, yeah,
thought he
earn your keep.
yeah. Then you had, when he was at Notre Dame, he killed a kid because the kid was trying to take pictures and trying to get, like, views, and it was really bad outside, and the wind was like 60 miles an hour, and he fell off a scaffolding, and Brian Kelly like never like took accountability for it. You have the fact that when he was also at Notre Dame, he was recruiting. He gets the call that he's going to LSU,
Mhm.
stays at the recruit's house, eats the recruit's food, and then the recruit finds out while Brian Kelly's there that he's leaving.
Yeah.
You have the entire Greg Brooks Jr. situation where
Mhm.
Greg Brooks Jr. has he's been going through a lot. He essentially has developed I don't know, it's not cancer, but he had a really, really bad like he had a stroke, he had a bunch of stuff wrong with him,
Oh,
and he's had to relearn how to walk, talk, write, eat, everything.
good.
And Brian Kelly never said 2 words to him. In fact, during the season, he was kept telling Brian Kelly and his staff, like, "Hey, something is wrong, something is wrong.
Right.
I need help." And they
And then
just
that's
brushed
it.
it off. You have Kyron Lacey's dad coming out saying that Brian Kelly never reached out to him after the death of his son. You have another LSU player coming out saying that while under Brian Kelly, he had to medically retire from the sport of football. You had Malik Neighbors, who's in the NFL,
Mhm.
posting a video of someone picking up a handful of rocks and kicking them. Like, he was not liked. So Brian Kelly gone from
Good
LSU.
riddance.
I think he's gonna do the typical coach thing of he's gonna take a year off, do the commentating thing, come back with another team.
You think he'll actually get to do the commentating thing, or well,
Yeah.
on the
If Urban
larger
Meyer can.
scale?
Yeah, if Urban Meyer can. Urban Meyer literally was a terrible coach for the Jaguars, went back to college
Well, yeah.
football, and then everybody's like, "Yeah, it's Urban Meyer. He's a great coach." It's like,
Well, no, no,
what
no, no, no.
happened?
He didn't go back to college, so he started at he didn't start at UF, but, like, he made his name huge at UF. Then he
Yeah.
retired. Then he came back to
Oh
OSU.
my shoot.
Then he went to Jacksonville, and then that's when he did horrible and he retired.
Yeah. And
Like,
then he came out of
and now he's
retirement.
commentating
Yeah, and
for
commentating.
college. Right.
Yep.
Now, I truly believe, just like with quarterbacks in college going into the NFL, it's a different type of animal. Not all coaches can go from college to pro or
Mhm.
pro to college, as we've seen with Bill Belichick. I mean, like,
Yeah.
supposedly the GOAT of the NFL coaches is doing a really shitty job in North Carolina.
Are
And he's
they?
got
Yeah.
players. It's not like he doesn't have player. I mean, granted, they're all a bunch of newbies. They haven't played together before because he went and recruited all these kids. But, you know,
Yeah.
I don't see a lot
It's
of people listening to Brian Kelly.
No, I honestly I thought that too, but I'm like, I know that a mediocre white man is gonna get a job soon. So what am I to say? But yeah, so now we have three, four technically, actually more than that, because a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
people think Luke Fickle is gonna get fired over at Wisconsin. People
Yeah.
think that Bill Belichick is gonna get fired. He's gonna walk after this season. So we're gonna have a lot of open jobs in college football. But
Call me.
but I think that's all the sports news I have. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on in the world of sports.
Yes.
Let's let's move on to
Yes.
the pop culture news.
Yes.
So, Love is Blind reunion airs in about an hour and a half. Hour and a half of this airing. So, by the time it airs tomorrow on YouTube, we will know what happens on the show.
Yes, we will have watched
Love
it.
Yes, we will have so much to talk about, but I gotta tell you some I gotta catch you up on the news. So, of course, we talked about it last week. Megan reportedly rumored had a baby in the off season of the show,
Yeah.
but there's another surprise couple that somehow came out of this.
Really?
Yeah, guess what couple combination it is?
Oh, excuse me. I burped. I'm hoping that it might be, oh crap, now I forget her name. Why do I draw a blank when I start thinking of people? Nick and what was Nick's fiance's name?
Annie?
Yeah.
No, not
No.
even close. Nope, it's not Nick.
Nick didn't find a man?
No, he didn't find a man. He didn't come out of the closet, unfortunately. No, this when I say what I'm gonna tell you is surprising, and these people have neither confirmed nor deny it. It is going to be Anton and Madison.
Anton and Madison, really?
Anton and Madison. Apparently a fan page posted a photo of the two of them. They took a photo together over the weekend, and somebody said, "Ooh, it looks like Anton and Madison are heating up, or they're rumored to be dating." And she commented and he commented. So I think after tonight we'll know if these two are together. Who
Oh,
knows?
I'm
Who
excited.
knows?
I would love to watch and see that a couple of the couples that were supposed to actually be together end up together. Like our little baby seal. Um, I would love it if I know he doesn't end up with Anne, which is
Anna,
unfortunate.
yeah,
Anna.
Anna.
But I would love to see him like maybe he would be good with Allie or even KB, I think.
Honestly, I just feel so bad for KB. KB, can we talk about that? I still okay, so I have not rewatched the episode. I just rewatched the clip. And a lot of commentary has actually come out about KB and Edmund and their relationship and what's been going on and what's been happening. Truly, when that man stood up at that altar with that pick in his head, I said, "Okay, this is bad."
I was
And
gonna ask
then
you, like, cultural wise, obviously.
no, like, I'm cultural wise, let me tell you something right now. A pick is used to pick out your afro,
Right,
right? It's used to pick
right.
out your hair, pick
Yeah,
out your afro,
I
shape it
got
up,
curly hair, I got pics too.
right?
Mm,
There is no way that your pick should be in your head on your wedding day.
no, it
No.
wasn't even bedazzled.
It didn't match the outfit. It
No.
didn't match the vibe. It just looked crazy. So the pick and head on the
Mhm.
wedding day was crazy. Then when she couldn't even say no. She couldn't even say no. She just shook her head. He made some wailing noise, and I'm like, what are you doing?"
Oh, no, baby.
That's essentially what it was. That's
Yeah,
essentially what it was, and I was like,
yes,
"Oh, this man is insane."
yeah.
I'm like, "He's crazy," and a lot and KB's gotten a lot of backlash because they're like, "Well, she triggered him by abandoning him because he told his teacher
She
that this
let
was
him
his
on.
last." Yeah, she led him on. This was his last opportunity. That man knew exactly what he was doing. He was incredibly manipulative.
Yeah.
She explained how manipulative he was. So no, I don't feel bad for him because he was a terrible person on the show. I feel bad for his life and what's led him to this point of being abandoned and having issues.
Right.
But he showed his butt the whole season. And you want me to feel bad for a man that shows up with a damn pick in his
I
head,
so
looking as
like,
crazy as hell?
why hasn't a friend taken him under their wing and said, because I have a friend who's very socially awkward. It's a new
Mhm.
friend that lives in the area, in the hood. And our thing that we talk about is football, of course. Um, and so he came over Sunday to watch the football game with me and my husband. And I know he didn't mean anything by it because I know his personality and I know he's awkward, but he started telling me that he was rating a girl and he rated her a 6. And I said, hold up right there.
No.
First of all, I said, I understand that you're talking with me. I said, but you don't ever do that. Don't ever rate a woman that type of, I don't care. Like, then he goes, well, she just wasn't my type. I said, okay, that's fine. You can say that. I said,
Yeah.
but you don't ever rate them on a scale,
No, that
and I
is not
told him,
what
I
you
said,
do.
I'm going to assist you and try to make you realize what is socially acceptable and not so awkward. That way he can make more friends that are like his age and hang out with them instead of coming over here and watching football with me and my husband, which I mean, I don't mind watching football with him, but I don't want you rating women while we're talking.
No. And it was just the nice guy persona. It was just crazy, but I just had to talk about that. I don't believe that anybody I genuinely don't want to see this group of people on my television screen ever again. Ever again. They were all terrible.
Honey,
They were
come
all
back to me.
horrible. I don't want to see a damn one ever again.
They were
I
all pretty.
They were all awful. I think Allie is gonna be on Perfect Match, in about a
Yeah.
couple years.
Oh yeah,
Give her
for
2 years. She's gonna be on Perfect Match.
sure.
I Okay. So I do have a pitch. I'll tell you the pitch after we talk about the rest of the stuff. So
Okay.
let's get through it. So Love Island Australia has begun. We already got some drama. We
I
already got
keep
a
watching.
breakup. We already got a breakup. He was weird. She's hot. She is gorgeous. She is gorgeous.
They usually are.
She was wearing a black cat suit and he broke up with her because she said, "I don't want kids."
Like right now or ever.
Like ever.
Oh, maybe he feels strongly that he wants kids. Doesn't care about the cat suit.
It was just oh no, the reason why I mentioned the cat suit because he had a problem with it and he said it was too revealing.
Oh,
So already we're on some stuff, on some mess. I'm gonna talk about something a little bit serious. So again, when I say I don't want to see people back on my screen, this show, this cast, I don't want to
oh,
see none of them. I don't want to see none of them except for two people. Love Island season 7, back in the news. Huda Mustafa, Huda
oh,
Coulda Woulda, and her boyfriend Louis Russell, who ironically enough was on Too Hot to Handle. We're on Twitch last night on a live stream. They were laughing at some really offensive things like domestic violence and
oh,
abuse.
oh.
And then a fan, quote unquote, called in to their live stream and regurgitated a slur about Huda's castmate, Alandria. Now, Alandria
Good.
has come out and has condemned it. Alandria's partner has come out. He has also condemned it.
As they should.
Jeremiah, Huda's ex, has also condemned it.
Of course.
Iris made a weird statement, but then she came out and condemned it. And then Louis and Huda tried to backpedal and say they didn't hear it. And the reason why fans are like, you're lying is because they heard it. They heard the
React.
slur and then laughed.
Oh, of course. Wow.
So when I say there is a cast that I don't want to see on television ever again, I don't want to see Huda on my screen. Don't give her no attention.
Uh, She sat there and she talked about her daughter so much, and I still don't think that she's seen her daughter since she's gone home.
She's seen her daughter one time.
Oh.
One time. And that's because she posted it.
I've seen my grandkid more than that. But anyway, yeah. So let's not give her and Louis any
No,
more of our attention. Let's move
absolutely
on.
not. Yes, let's move on. Oh, just two other things. Dancing with the Stars, total drama. This is the
Okay.
most drama I've ever seen on a show. I could do a whole episode on that, but they have a ton of drama. And then singer Lily Allen, she released a new album called West End Girls about her soon-to-be ex-husband David Harbour. And then a bunch of people came out and was like, Lily Allen, I know you ain't talking. You're just a terrible person, just as much as he is. So
Oh.
it's been crazy in the world of pop culture. But
That's interesting.
let's get to Christy's outfit. So last week after the show, I told Christy, I said, Christy, I said, I watched one of the most hilarious episodes of a reality television show.
Mhm.
The show in question is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Now, if you're not a reality show watcher, I promise you, you need to watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. You don't even have to know the premise of the show.
There's only
So,
6 seasons, so it's actually the shortest of the seasons
mhm,
of all the Housewives. So I'm kinda glad that that's the one that you picked for me to start watching.
yes. So,
I'm on season 2.
you're on season 2. And Christy, please explain who you are.
Okay, I'm Meredith Marks. I've got my son Brooksy, his line of clothes on.
His jumpsuits. He's only come out with jumpsuits. That's it.
His one jumpsuit. But Seth thinks it's sexy.
So,
I
so
So for Halloween, I dressed as a housewife.
yes, she did. She dressed as a housewife. She dressed as one Miss Meredith Marks. So Meredith, oh my God. Okay, let me explain Meredith. So Meredith does not live in Utah at all. She lives in New York and she
I
commutes
have
to Utah.
vacation rentals.
Yeah, she doesn't have a home. She rents out homes for the duration of filming. Her
Mhm.
husband doesn't even work in Utah. He actually works in Columbus.
Was in Canton. He was in
Was
Canton
in
during this
Canton.
season.
Yeah, he was okay. So the first season it was Akron, second
Mhm,
season it was Canton.
mhm.
Now he works in Columbus. He his tea is crazy.
Yeah, I have no idea what his job is, and I even Googled it.
Yeah, he's flabbergasting. But
Piece of
Meredith
shit.
Marks, she has a son named Brooks, and Brooks wants to be a fashion designer. And so for one, I think it was the second season, he decided to debut his line, and his line was jumpsuits,
Mhm.
jogging suits. I forget which one it was.
It was a black jumpsuit, and it had like a
Brooks
white
Marks
Brooks Marks thing, like down
down,
the
yeah.
sides, down the legs. There was one that like went across, or he was trying to do one that like goes across. So I was even thinking about taping this one like this.
Mhm.
There we go. Look, I
Yep.
designed a new one for him.
Mhm. So, yeah, there are 6 seasons of the show. They are currently in their 6th season. Do you care if I spoil it for you?
No, but I do want to say that Jen Shaw is a trip. Her husband, Coach Shaw, is the head coach of University of Utah, which
He's the assistant coach. He's an assistant
oh,
coach.
sorry, assistant coach.
Yeah.
I love his pep talks though. Like he's so sweet, he's so down to earth. I love his pep talks. But there's some crazy stuff going on with Jen Shaw in the season that I'm in. But go ahead, Autumn. Like I have no idea what's after this season. So I'm
Okay,
looking
so
forward to watching it.
first let me explain Jen Shaw. So Jen Shaw, Jesus Christ. Okay. So she was only on the show for 3 seasons, and in 3 seasons she made every single person hate her. I don't understand why. Well, I understand why. So first season, she got mad at Mary because we have to explain the people. So you have Mary Cosby. Mary Cosby is married to her step grandfather. She
Yes.
claims that her grandmother put it in her will that she wanted one of her girls to marry
Well, she said it
her
wasn't in
husband.
paper. She admitted
No,
at the
it wasn't
at the
paper.
reunion that it wasn't in paper, that her
No.
grandmother just told her that she wanted her to take her place, and she told Robert Sr. that she wanted one of her girls to take care of them.
Yes, yes. So Mary's mom, who has actually passed away,
Oh.
and her siblings
Mhm.
ended up suing Robert Sr., Mary's husband, because they actually thought it was some foul play involved in the grandma's death.
Oh.
So you have Mary Cosby, who's married to her step grandfather. Jen Shaw is married to an assistant coach
Mhm.
of the Utah football team, right? I think he is still the Utah football coach. Like, I think he's still on the team.
Assistant, but yeah.
Assistant, yes. So Jen gets mad at Mary the whole first season because Mary at one point said that Jen smelled like hospital after Jen had gone to visit her aunt who was sick, who ironically enough has passed away. So she went to go visit her sick aunt, and Mary was like, "Ooh, I don't want to be around you because you smell like hospital."
It traumatizes me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all I'm sorry.
and so you have those two, you have that dynamic. Then you
Mhm.
have Heather and Whitney, aka Bad Weather, as
Cousins.
cousins, who only found out they were cousins as they were adults because
Film.
Whitney started going to Heather's med spa,
Mhm.
Beauty Lab and Laser, an iconic location.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but an
Yet.
iconic location. Oh my god, if we got Beauty Lab and Laser to sponsor us, that would be so amazing. Hilarious show.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love
So
Heather.
these two are cousins. Whitney had an affair with her husband and broke up his marriage and is actually closer to the same age as
And
her
her marriage before
stepsons.
too. Her
Yeah.
marriage before. So, and she
Yeah.
clears her aura. Okay,
Yep.
go
And
ahead.
she's healing. She's on a healing journey. You have Lisa Barlow, the woman who is at the center of Vita Tequila, a tequila brand that no one has ever heard of, no one has ever seen, no one has ever drank,
Except for if you're on the show.
except for if you're on the show, and that's Lisa. And she's going through a situation where her son is getting older, and he's about to leave home. So she's on season 2. Season 2 is the season that like catapults the show to craziness. She's actually at a point. So, by the way, so remember how I mentioned Jen Shaw and her craziness? Jen Shaw got arrested
Yes.
for scamming elderly people
Those poor people.
because so if you guys don't ever know, so if you go on a website and you click on an ad, she would be responsible for people clicking on those ads, and then she would call people at their houses and scam them.
Sign them up for monthly subscriptions for stuff that
Mm-hmm.
they actually didn't need. And then they would forget that they had the monthly subscription that they were paying for because they weren't getting a service for it. And yeah, so she got arrested by the feds. It was the feds, the FBI,
Mm-hmm.
Homeland Security, and
Mm-hmm.
New York PD.
Yep, and they all showed up in the Beauty Lab and Laser parking lot looking for her. She had escaped. She claimed that, and I quote, she got a call from
That was
someone
messed
who
up.
she thought was her husband,
But then
saying that
said that her husband was in the hospital.
said that she said, I got a call from my husband. He said he was in an accident, or who I thought was my husband. And then come to find out, she got a call from her lawyer to get her ass down to the courthouse to
Yeah,
turn
but
herself in.
I can't believe she lied about her husband. She said her husband was in the hospital with internal bleeding. That is so messed up. Like, how are you going to
Mhm.
lie like that about your husband's health?
Yes.
Karma's a
Now,
bitch.
I don't want to spoil the next season for you because there is a storyline on the next season that
Oh, no,
somehow
yeah.
carries out to this season. This
2 years
season,
later? Okay. Well,
right?
hopefully I'll be there by tomorrow.
You haven't met Monica yet. You haven't met Angie K yet. You haven't met just some immaculate people. So I kind of have to go a little bit fast with this one. So this past episode, they are doing a crossover with Below Deck Down Under.
Ooh, I like.
So it's like so funny because like if you watch Below Deck, I watch Below Deck. I watch all the
I
reality
watch it
shows.
occasionally. My parents watch it.
Below Deck is one of the most hilarious shows on television.
It is pretty
Like
good.
it's pretty good. So like if you've ever watched an episode, like we see it from their point of view, right?
Mhm.
Like the deckhands, the chef, the captain, everything.
Right. This one we're
To
gonna do it
have
for both.
so the point of view switches, so it's so fun, so much funnier because you're watching it and you're like, I know what's going on in the below deck of it all, but
Mhm.
I'm watching Real Housewives and it's like, oh, they've never seen anything like this.
Oh, I
They've
can't
never
wait.
experienced anything. Oh my god, it is one of those episodes where you're like, this is amazing. This is great.
Trainwreck?
And it's I told you last week. I told
Yeah,
you,
you were telling me last week because I mean, the whole reason why I started watching this is because of last week's episode.
man, to have an entire episode be at one lunch
Yeah.
and no other place
Oh, I
is
can't wait.
something I've never seen.
I love their trips to begin with. They always end up being like awful
Oh yeah, because by the way, for the first like 3-4 seasons, they can't leave the continental US because of Jen.
because of Jen.
Because of Jen.
What about the first season? They didn't know she was doing anything in the first season.
They didn't have no money
Oh,
the
but
first season.
COVID.
Yeah,
But they
COVID.
had COVID too, because even now they're still wearing masks in
Mm-hmm.
season 2. So, and it's like
Yep.
towards the end of season 2.
Yeah, so season 1, it was like post COVID. They didn't have any money. Season 2, a little bit out of it, but Jen can't leave the continental United States. Barely can leave the state of Utah.
Right.
Season 3, kind of the same thing. Season 4,
They get rid of
5,
her.
and then season 4. Well, she goes to jail. She's in
Right.
jail.
Yeah, I did see that she's in jail for like 6 years.
She's in jail. She's actually supposed to get out either early next year or like is she getting out
No,
sometime in the next
they
year?
said actually, I just read recently, I think it was 2028 is the soonest that she can get out.
So
They
yeah,
keep
so
moving it up.
yeah, they keep moving it up. So
Mhm.
she's due to get out pretty soon
Yeah.
because apparently
So
she's a
I cannot wait because, like, of course, right now she's defending herself. She's like, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. But yeah, evidently you were guilty because you pled guilty and now you're spending time in jail. So,
oh the episode where they find out she pleads guilty is one of those
oh, I can't
episodes where
wait.
it is one of those things where you're
I'll
like,
tell you,
oh,
these women, they have everything. They literally have everything. And for them to argue and fight like they do and talk about each other behind their backs, like it just makes me so frustrated because I mean, yeah, it makes for great TV, but it's like this is not how women should be treating each other. And like I know with me, even when I was younger, I was always a very loyal friend. And that has bit me in the ass so many times. So maybe I understand why these women are like that. But like, I don't know. I just wish women could come together more.
honestly, this season, honestly not this season, but this I watch all the housewives.
Right. So this series of women.
This series of women is probably the closest friends of all the housewives.
And that's pathetic because they are awful to each other. And like, I want to like Lisa. I really do. But she makes
You
me
will
so
never like her.
mad. Yeah, she makes me so mad. It's like, I
You
want
will never
my
like
and then like there's times where I want to like Meredith and I'm like, oh, I can't like her. And Mary, I'm
I
still
told you. I told you, Mary, it's it's the tail end of season 4. It's when you're like, okay, this is what I
redemption
got you.
arc.
Redemption. When she comes back, so she comes back in season 4. She's not in season 3. She's not nowhere in season 3.
Hmm.
She comes back in season 4. She kind of slowly integrates herself back in. And then all of season 5, she just has a storyline where it's like, oh, she is like people understand her.
Right.
And you'll kind of get there. When you get there, you'll understand. But it's just one of those shows where you're like, this show cannot, like, I genuinely just every time I think about it, I just can't stop laughing.
Well, I can't wait to talk to you more about it next week. But
Yes.
I do want to say that we have been on for a very long time. And we
Yes.
have a show coming up behind us, so we need to get off of here before we get yelled at.
Yes. But you guys,
Them damn
it's
movies
time. It's
too long.
time. So, Christine,
Yes, ma'am.
you have any final words? Any final thoughts?
I hope everybody has an amazing, happy Halloween. It's my sister's birthday, so happy birthday to my old sister. She's going to be 51. And everybody, please be safe. Check your candy. And
Yes.
be careful if you're out there on the roads. Watch out for the kiddos and the teenagers running around Friday night.
Yes, yes, yes. For us over here at Jersey Chasers, I've been your host, everyone's favorite season, Autumn, also Nowhere Ball, joined by my co-host, Christy Acuity, the cutie. Please like, follow, subscribe if you're watching on Facebook. If you're gonna watch us later on YouTube, please, 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 please follow us on Instagram and TikTok. I promise I'm gonna start posting more. I promise. I promise. I promise.
I just had my granddaughter's birthday, so you have to excuse me.
It's been a busy time. It's been a busy time.
Got it.
But for all of those us here at Jersey Chasers and Inside Edge Net, thank you for watching. Bye.
See you next week.
See you next week.
I can't believe I didn't mention anything about Cam Scatterbill.